Hi, it's Zoe and I'm here to show you how to start your very first piece of crochet. You will need some kind of yarn and some kind of hook. Today I'm using Deramore Studio DK, which is a lovely soft smooth yarn, great for beginners. It doesn't split very easily and it's nice and smooth. It's so easy to work with, I really recommend it. And I'm also using this 4mm hook. Because I'm using double knit weight yarn, which refers to the thickness of it, I need a 4mm hook. This one is a Clover Soft Touch hook, which is one of my favourites because of the coating on it that helps it slide through things. But if you want to take a look at these, I'll pop the links down below the video. But otherwise, any hook you've got and any yarn you've got is great to get you started. So, first thing you're going to need to do is to be able to tie a slip knot. There's lots of ways of doing this. I've seen lots of people do it lots of different ways, but this is how I do it. I make a loop so that I've got a tail end over here and the working yarn over here, and I push another loop of yarn up through it and then pull the end tight, and it makes one of those knots that undoes itself if you pull on it. If you're a knitter, you'll have done this before. If not, you might have used this for other things. It's such a useful thing to be able to do. There you go. Once you've made your slip knot, pop it on your hook. So you've got a loop on your hook. And then you're going to need to think about how you're holding your yarn in your other hand. If you are right-handed, you'll probably have your hook in your right hand and you'll want your yarn in your left hand. If you're left-handed, obviously you'll probably want to reverse it. Although I've known left-handers to work with their hook in their right hand anyway. So it's up to you how you feel comfortable. So I've got my hook in my right hand. My yarn I wrap over my left hand, around the little finger, behind the two middle ones, and then back over the top. And that gives me enough tension to be able to keep my stitches nice and consistent without being so tight that they're unworkable afterwards. So got your yarn in one hand, got your hook in your other hand. Let's get started on actually crocheting your very first crochet stitches. Now I'm just going to take a hold of the tail end, because that's all there is to hold on to at the minute, with my left hand. And to make my first chain stitch, I'm going to wrap the yarn over my hook like so. Slightly turn my hook towards myself to grab the yarn and then pull it through the loop. Like that. Let me show you again. So wrap the yarn over, turn and pull through. Yarn over, pull through. And that's all there is to a chain stitch. It's just a yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through. And you'll do as many as your pattern requires for whatever you're making. You might be making a blanket or a jumper or a cardigan or a cushion. All sorts of things will start off this same way, and they'll tell you how many. The pattern will say chain 100 or chain 52 or whatever it might be. You want to make sure that you're keeping a nice even tension. You see how mine are all sort of the same size? They're all loose enough that I could put my hook back into them to work a stitch, but not so loose that they look messy. They're not really tight like this. I'm not yanking on the yarn after every stitch. If I were to do that, can you see how tight those are? There's no way I'd be able to work into them. I can't get my hook back in there, so don't make them tight like that. And at the same time, don't make them so loose, I'm exaggerating, but don't make them so loose that they're messy or uneven. Okay, those, although I can put my hook back into them, they're not going to look very nice when my project's finished. So just make sure you're keeping a nice even tension. And that's all there is to it. Once you can do chain stitches, there are a few projects you can do just using that stitch, and I will be making a video later on if you're interested of how to make a cowl or a scarf using just chain stitches with really chunky yarn and a big hook. It's fun, it's great for winter. I know we're in the middle of summer, but it's great for winter, and I'll pop that video up, so you can either move on to there or you can move on to the double crochet stitch video next. which will get you started in working that stitch that is used for a lot of stuffed toys as well, if you're interested in those. So that's all for this video. If you like what you see and you want to find out more, you can subscribe to see all of my other videos, and have a good day, take care, and keep practicing. Thanks.